Okay, this is the second video. I'm just going to talk about things that can go wrong. So let's type in some bad SQL. Let's spell manifest wrong and see what happens. So I'll copy that and I'll paste it. And it tells me the table doesn't exist. That's fair enough. That's kind of what you should expect. You get the error message, you go back to your query, you fix it. What happens if I forget the semicolon? Okay, let's copy that and paste it here. Okay, now this is a bit confusing. What's happened is the prompt has changed. Instead of having my number and then that single minus, I've got the arrow thing here. And what's happening is, what is going on? Why doesn't this work? Actually, I'm not going to do that. Okay, what's happening is that MySQL is waiting for the semicolon, all right? So it won't do anything until it gets the semicolon. So there's my semicolon, I put that in, and I get the error message that I deserve. Okay, so that's one thing that can go wrong. You can get worse things happening. So I could type in select star from manifest where trip ID equals 45544 dump. Okay, now this is slightly worse. What happened now is that I opened a quote here and I haven't closed it. It's still waiting for me to close the quote. So I can put in a semicolon, and that worked before, but it doesn't work this time because it's waiting for that quote. Okay, now I've closed the quote. Now it's waiting for a semicolon. And again, I get an error message, and that serves me right. Okay, what other stuff can go wrong? Oh, I haven't told you how to get out. How do you get out? Exit. Okay, that gets me out of MySQL, and I'm now in Linux. To get out of Linux, you type in exit. Okay, so now I'm out of Linux and I'm back on my desktop, so I'm on my Windows machine. How do I get out of that? Well, I can type in exit, or I can click on that button there. Let's type in exit. Okay, having typed in exit, let's have a look at PuTTY, which is another option. So if you download PuTTY, PuTTY is a brilliant program. Let's see, let's find PuTTY. I've already downloaded it. I use PuTTY all the time. So PuTTY. So here's PuTTY, and there's a download. I can download it here. Okay, and I would want the 64-bit installer version there. I'll download it, but I'm not going to run it because I've already done this. I use PuTTY all the time, like I say. Having downloaded and installed, you can then type in here, you can type in PuTTY, and you can put in same sort of things we did before, 40000036 at scT08120.napier.ac.uk. And I come up with this command prompt, so ask for my password again. Yeah, see, I did it first time that time, and I'm back in my Linux thing, on my Linux prompt. I can type in, for example, /mysql, and I'm back where I was. And my tables should still be there from last time. Show tables. If they weren't, it would be a pretty poor database, wouldn't it? There are my tables, so customer, driver, manifest, model, trip, vehicle, all of the things that you need for the coursework. Okay, so that's PuTTY. You've got PuTTY, you've got PowerShell. There are other options. Like I say, if you were on a Mac, then you'd be looking for a program called Terminal. And if you had Terminal, you could do the same thing that we do with PowerShell. So starting PowerShell, the command is SSH. All right, so SSH 40000036 at scT08120.napier.ac.uk, and that's how you get in. All right. There are clever tricks you can use with SSH and with PuTTY, with both of them. So you can use a public-private key pair so that you don't have to be typing your password all the time. That's definitely worth doing. You've also got the option of running MySQL directly from your machine. So you could type in MySQL. I got to say, I haven't done this for a while. So you could go to MySQL. I prefer MariaDB, which is kind of the open source version. MariaDB. With all these things, you've got to watch out. because you've got to avoid going to the paid for versions. There's free versions of these, and typically you'll see .org if it's free, and if it's not, you'll see .com. So .org is good, .com is bad, but they use all sorts of tricks, I'm sure you're all familiar with them, to try and get you to use their paid service, but there is a free service. It's not obvious, but there'll be a way to download. There we go, download. Okay, so you can download your server. I bet this is going to take me to .com, isn't it? Nah, it looks okay, actually. All right, so maybe I can download it. Okay, it looks like that's happening. It's downloading it. And when that's finished and I start running that, I'll be able to type in, I'm sure I've done this already, mysql. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, so that's downloaded and I could run MySQL on my own Windows machine, but there's no reason to do that. We've set up perfectly good servers for you to use using Linux. The advantage of downloading and running it yourself is that if you find yourself stranded on a desert island with a power supply and your laptop but no internet, you could do the coursework from that desert island. Okay. Good luck. Give me a shout if you have a problem. This is Andrew Cumming, a.cumming@napier.ac.uk. That is a.cumming@napier.ac.uk. Or if you want a fast response, ajcumming@gmail.com. Either of those, you can contact me. Okay.